TV7 Israel News is made possible thanks to your generous donations.
Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News. The terror regime in Iran is deliberately launching ballistic missiles at civilian infrastructure in Israel. U.S. President Donald Trump reiterates that Iran cannot have nuclear weapon capabilities. Multiple American, British, and other allied carrier strike groups are bound for the Middle East. The terror regime in Iran is deliberately launching ballistic missiles at civilian infrastructure in Israel, following successive days in which the RGC had repeatedly failed to target Israel's strategic infrastructure. The terror regime in Tehran has clearly decided to fire at civilian infrastructure, launching ballistic missiles toward densely populated neighborhoods in central Israel, in addition to the Soroka Medical Center in the southern city of Beersheba.
Early this morning, an Iranian ballistic missile directly hit the Soroka hospital in Beersheba. This hospital serves over 1 million Israelis, including Bedouins, Jews, Christians, and Arabs alike. Iran targeting civilian centers with ballistic missiles is no surprise for us. They have been openly declaring their desire to destroy the state of Israel for decades now. These aren't just words. Over the past 6 days, Iran has launched over 450 ballistic missiles and hundreds of UAVs. This is exactly why we cannot and we will not allow this regime to obtain nuclear weapons or expand its missile arsenal. And so, we continue our operations, striking Iranian nuclear weapons facilities, missile launchers, and military sites. Iran targets civilians. We target an existential threat that endangers global security. And we will prevail.
The deliberate attack on the hospital caused extensive damage to the structure, while 6 people sustained serious injuries in the central cities of Ramat Gan and Hulon. It is important to know that the salvo of over 30 ballistic missiles that was launched this morning at Israel civilian communities came after the Israel Air Force destroyed Iran's Arak heavy water reactor, a vital step in destroying the Ayatollah regime's nuclear weapons and infrastructure.
We are focusing on Tehran. Among the targets struck was a centrifuge production site, a key component in the Iranian regime's efforts to enrich uranium. Another target struck tonight was a site near Tehran used to manufacture anti-tank missiles. The Iranian regime used this site to produce hundreds of missiles that were transferred over the years to Hezbollah. These missiles also armed the regime's proxies throughout the Middle East. Tonight, IAF jets reached the very source of the missile production, missiles that have been used against the State of Israel, and neutralized it. The second wave of strikes began this afternoon, during which we struck more than 20 additional targets in the Tehran area. The targets struck were part of the regime's military weapons industry and its security apparatus. As can be seen, we struck 3 significant sites connected to missile production, including engines, navigation systems, and missile assembly. All of these were missiles intended for use by the regime against Israel. After significantly weakening the regime's proxies over the past 20 months, we are now dismantling its own core capabilities.
In addition to the 2 waves of aerial strikes against Iran's military and nuclear infrastructure, the Israeli Air Force is also focusing on destroying Iran's surface-to-surface capabilities, which pose a threat to Israel and U.S. bases throughout the region.
The third wave of strikes began a short while ago and is focused on western Iran. IAF aircraft are flying over launch and storage sites for surface-to-surface missiles. The jets are targeting operatives attempting to re-access and remove munitions from sites that were previously struck. Our message to them is clear: if you attempt to rebuild your terror capabilities in the region, you will be struck. We are systematically targeting Iran's missile infrastructure. The IAF is flying over Iran and hunting down launchers. These strikes are enabling sustained operational freedom until the war's objectives are fully achieved. Let me remind you, we launched this operation to remove an existential threat. We will act as long as necessary to accomplish the mission, as defined by the political level.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in his daily address to the nation, highlighted the deep appreciation which world leaders hold for Israel in the unrelenting battle against the Islamic Republic of Iran.
We are on day 6 of Operation Rising Lion. We began this campaign in order to remove 2 existential threats to the state of Israel, the nuclear threat and the ballistic missile threat. We are advancing step by step to remove these threats. We control the skies over Tehran. We are striking the Ayatollah's regime with great force. We are attacking nuclear installations, missiles, command centers, and the symbols of the regime. I must tell you that I speak with world leaders, and they are very impressed by our determination and the achievements of our forces. They are also greatly impressed by you, citizens of Israel, by your strong spirit and by your steadfastness. We are sustaining many losses, painful losses. But we see that the home front is strong. The people are strong, and the state of Israel is stronger than ever. I have directed the government ministries to assist all those who have been harmed.
Prime Minister Netanyahu also seized the opportunity to thank U.S. President Donald Trump for his unwavering support for the state of Israel and its people.
I would like to thank President Trump, a great friend of the state of Israel. I thank him for standing alongside us, and I thank him for the support of the U.S. in assisting in defending the skies over Israel. We speak frequently, including last night. We had a very warm conversation. I thank President Trump for his backing. Citizens of Israel, together we will fight, and with God's help, together we will win.
Meanwhile, in Washington, amid a campaign by an isolationist bloc within the radical right so-called MAGA movement, calling on President Donald Trump not to prosecute war against Iran, the American leader, in seeming pushback, asserted that while he wouldn't want to go to war either, no one can afford a nuclear-armed Iran.
Very simple. If they think that it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon, then they should oppose me, but nobody thinks it's okay. People that don't want, I don't want to fight either. I'm not looking to fight. But if it's a choice between fighting and them having a nuclear weapon, you have to do what you have to do. Maybe we won't have to fight. Don't forget, we haven't been fighting. We add a certain amount of genius to everything, but we haven't been fighting at all. Israel's done a very good job of that. But we'll see what happens. The bottom line is they can't have nuclear.
It is important to highlight that the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier strike group has been reportedly instructed to deploy in the eastern Mediterranean, in addition to the USS Nimitz and USS Vinson that are operational within Central Command's area of responsibility. It is also important to highlight that the HMS Queen Elizabeth was spotted transiting the Suez Canal early this morning, bound to join the HMS Prince of Wales carrier strike group, while 2 additional strike groups of other allied nations will also soon join in support of the U.S.-led campaign, to include the French Navy's Charles de Gaulle carrier strike group and the Italian Navy's ITS Cavour, which reportedly operates in the eastern Mediterranean. Meanwhile, with the unprecedented quantities of firepower roaming in the vicinity of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who is hiding in a bunker of which the location is known to Western intelligence agencies, filmed a defiant response to the demand of President Donald Trump to surrender unconditionally.
Finally, the President of the United States has recently opened his mouth to threaten us. He is both threatening and, with a ridiculous and unacceptable statement, explicitly asking the Iranian nation to come and surrender to me. When a person observes these things, he is truly amazed. First, they are threatening someone who is not afraid of their threats. The Iranian nation has shown that it is not afraid in the face of threats from those who threaten. And do not be humiliated, and do not grieve, and you are the ones who declare that you are believers. The Iranian nation believes in this. Threats do not affect the behavior of the Iranian nation and the thoughts of the Iranian nation. Secondly, telling the Iranian nation to come and surrender is not a wise thing to do.
Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. As ever, pray for the 53 hostages that have now endured 622 days in Hamas captivity in the Gaza Strip. Pray also for the Israeli, American, British, French, Finnish, Italian, and other troops operating in the Middle East. And please also pray for the peace of Jerusalem and the salvation of Israel. I'm Jonathan Essen wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you during our next update. Until then, Shalom.